Come get some corn variety samples while we wait for soybean harvest. And a pit stop to put these out because this is private land, folks. So to find each variety, I use the John Deere Ops Center and it finds my location and I can target each variety. This stuff is tall, man. So here I am picking 2 different varieties. We've always split the planter with 2 varieties so we can get a side-by-side trial and choose the best option for next year. Here's a look at the cover crop that was flown in a couple weeks ago. It's looking awesome. To keep them separate, I'm taping each variety together and marking it up.
Guys, look at this. I know that for some this might not be the biggest deal, but having this big of cobs, I can't even describe it because it's been so dry the last couple of years. We haven't had to even like dry our corn, but which is a plus because it's saved on propane. But like to see an actual cob fill out to its full potential is so awesome, and it's hard not to believe that there's something bigger than yourself. My grandpa passed on Christmas last year, and hey, it was a big part of the farm and a big part of my life, and I was wondering what I was going to do without him, and God has just presented himself over and over again through my grandpa. We had a record crop on wheat this year, which was pretty fun, and I'm not going to say anything too soon because you never know until you get in there, but the soybeans and the corn are looking pretty awesome. Wow, this is cool. A lot of the ground, say half of our ground that this crop is coming from is my grandpa's land in it, so it's got to be him. You know, this might be an incredible year and one to remember, and even outside of the farm, my life is falling into place exactly how I prayed for it to be, and wow, I could get emotional about this year because a year ago, I did not think I'd be where I was, and I'm so freaking happy. And after he was gone, I just didn't know how that was possible, and here we are. Wow, God is good. After the whole stuff has happened the past couple weeks, it's just reaffirmed and lit a fire under me that I gotta share that more because God has opened up so many opportunities for me and blessed me in so many ways that I can't even describe. People should know him. And I think that's the only way this country is going to fix itself is if we figure our shit out and start getting back into the church. My 2 cents. And I think as a farmer, you have to believe in God because our whole career and our whole income is based off of, you know, how he provides the rain and the sunshine. You get to go back and forth on a field all day long or sit in a deer stand for hours. You just get to take in all of his creation, and it's pretty dang cool. All right, so those previous cobs were from our stuff that didn't get hog manure on it. Not this stuff did. Just from observing out here, these corn stalks are definitely taller, but this is the ground, so where we put manure was also tilled up. Just because we have to take the ridges out from when they inject the hog manure, because or else you'll break your back in that dang seat. But what I'm noticing so far on these cobs is they're actually not filled out to the end, and they're like lighter. So I'm actually wondering if they kind of ran out of moisture when the faucet shut off halfway through the summer. And there's a bee, but we'll find out, I guess. And they also feel like drier, like further along the black layer, which I'll show you in a sec. So one way to determine a possible indicator of what is out there for yield on the fields is to count lengthways, the number of kernels, as well as around the width. Fun fact, the width around should always be an even number. I'm going to do that in the office with all of these different varieties just to get an idea, as well as test the moisture on them. So I'm going to shell them with the hand sheller and run them through so I can get an idea of if we're going to have to be hopping back from beans to corn or not. See how there's that indentation in the kernel? That is a sign that harvest is approaching because the corn is starting to reach maturity. But another way to check that out is to break the corn cob in half, and then you can see this milk line, this white. It usually starts further up, and that's where it gets that like sweet corn. How you can squirt it, like when you bite it, it like pops, and that's because there's still like milk in here. But as it reaches maturity, that milk hardens, and then that milk line starts to move down. And then you take a kernel off, and you carefully like pick away at the end of it. And see, I don't know if you can see that, but it's like there's a little black dot in there. That is called black layer, which means it's mature and pretty close to harvest. So yeah, I'm gonna do that to every single one of these and see what we're up against. But anyways, now I'm off to get my back cracked, get everything ready because we are gonna try some soybeans tomorrow. And I'm not sure if they're gonna go, but if they don't go tomorrow, I'm probably gonna guess Monday is when we'll get rocking.